I will share my screen. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Aspire4Impact FLL seminars within the collaboration of six Impact finalist teams: 1511 Rolling Thunder, 9990 Text for Kids, 60, 50, 614 Team Sycamore, 6429 Fourth Dimension, 6652 Tigris, 6865 Mountain Metal. And this seminar is going to be about managing an FL team, team structure, team management, financing the team, and of course, the first procedure. Before we start, just a quick reminder that these meetings will be recorded to be shared on our social media platforms such as YouTube and Instagram. No participant name will be displayed, or like, however, if you choose to ask any questions, if you unmute yourself through the seminar, your name will be displayed and also your voice. But if you ask any questions through the chat, it might be displayed, but we will have an Q&A part in the end of the seminar, so you can keep your questions for that part. Speaking of questions, please don't hesitate to ask if you have any. We're here to guide. And let's take a look at today's subtopics. We have FLL team management presented by Fourth Dimension and finance in the team presented by Mountain Metal. And quick reminder, these subtopics are chosen by the teams that they feel most confident at. And next week's seminar is going to be about project innovation creation, innovation project creation steps, like the presentation techniques also.
So, evolution for the FLL to FRC journey, beginning as a FLL team. Our first journey started a long time ago. We were actually a FLL team, and we went to America to contribute and compete to the championship. And the competition building was divided into three floors, FLL, FTC, and FRC. And when we went up to the FRC floor to explore and learn new things, we were really impressed by the teams, the robots, and just overall by the atmosphere. And that's when we thought, why not start a FRC team? And by that, Fourth Dimension was founded. We can proudly say that we are the first FRC team in the Aegean region and Izmir in our hometown. And our team began with just 12 members, and it's continuing to grow with 51 members now. And that's the evolution of Fourth Dimension.
So let's take a look at the importance of division of labor and how to effectively use it. So you can divide your team into like two parts, robot team and a project team. However, it depends on the team structure, but it's actually encouraged by many teams also. But what I mean dividing into your team into sub teams is that of course everyone helps each other in FLL teams, but if you feel most confident at building up robots and like programming them, you might likely to choose the robot team. But if you like creating new teams or like solving global problems, you might want to join into the project team, like the innovation project team. But of course, each member helps each other in the for the each of the like sub teams headings. And then, speaking of project team, we have some three easy techniques to an effective brainstorming process. We have sticky note storm. So everyone writes their ideas on a sticky note that you can stick around to like the FLI room in your school. So you can like keep in mind that, oh yeah, we had this idea. We should like keep on working on it. And then you can always create like a little circle in your gathering time, and then just create a like a brainstorming atmosphere that you can always like share your ideas and like start an intensive brainstorming. And then you can always model your idea through Lego bricks and like you can have like a 3D model and then explain it to your teammates. And so we have this five golden rule of brainstorming. First of all, no judging. Each idea and each thought is unique for us. And then, of course, all ideas are welcomed by each other. And we might have like different ideas in each other since we have different personalities and different features, and it's okay. And that's what makes a team so unique, having like different ideas and like building on each other's ideas. And like if I would express my idea on a project, on a like innovation project, other team members, of course, like add up and develop into a better idea. And you should always stay positive. If like we all good go through hard times, and it's important to stay positive and like keep encouraging your team members, like keeping the motivation high. And then using time management is another important point. So you should like kind of keep it quick, the brainstorming part, and give more time on the development of your projects or like development on your robot so you can keep track of time more efficiently. And then we have following the first procedure. So first judges use these three base roles on robot game, robot design, innovation projects, and core values, divided into three rubrics. And in the first NFL source driver, you can access into rulebook for the robot game and the mission and the rules of the season, the challenge descriptions, season overview, and this type of like documents. And you can access the engineering books, team meeting guides, challenge specific guides for coaches and also mentors. And as I said, you can access the judging rubrics and the score sheets. And then you can also access the past documents like past seasons, challenges, and like teams projects also. And where do you find this kind of documents? There's a website called First Inspires, and we all use this website as FRC teams do. So this website is all for like FTC, FLL, and FRC, and you can access many sources through this website called First Inspires. And you can access to season materials, rule books, which is like pretty important, since you have to follow the procedure and like follow the rules, and then judging rubrics and stuff. And for FLI, you can specifically follow season/game and seasons challenge, the section and the current season, which is unalerted. And you can download the PDF and rule books into your device and then take a look at it as a team, or like you can inform your coach also. And an important reminder, please follow your local organizers' updates frequently about like events and like procedure and the rules, because it might diverse from area to area. So please follow your local organizers' Instagram or like follow the website updates frequently.
Hi, I'm Dylan. My section is gonna be on kind of the finance structure of your team. So on next slide. Okay, so an FLL team can cost quite a bit of money. So there's a couple ways you can raise money and deal with this problem. So our first part is getting grants. So one way that many FLL teams manage to start up is because of corporate grants. In most countries, there are grants for rookie teams that are just starting up from big corporations like Dow and Novelis. There's like plenty you can find online, so make sure to look. A lot of these, like we've gotten a few from different corporates, and it's really helped us out. Another big like help for fundraising and getting the money in general is just donations. So that like this is the main way that our team is able to run most of these events. So all of our FLL events run out under like a pay what you can model. And they're like from different donations. So pretty much what we do is we suggest an amount for families to pay to actually um, get their children involved, but we don't actually charge anything just to kind of promote accessibility. So we leave a suggested amount depending on our expenses, and normally they will follow that. We also get like other donations, like somewhere for actual seminars and practices to actually run. So a couple of times we've gotten somewhere to like rent a building for us to do it, which really, really helps us out. On the other hand, we have just fundraising in general. So make your team raising money. So some of these times grants and donations don't cover up the full cost. So you're gonna have to turn to fundraisers. So one thing our team's doing this year is we're running like a canteen at one of our events just to make a large profit where everyone would give a couple items for us to sell. So we don't really have any expenses. Something else that we've been doing a lot is asking parents like for sponsor connections. So we ask them, their parents, if they know any businesses who are wondering if they want to sponsor us. And I think so far we've already gotten two corporate sponsors from that. And ultimately, if you can't raise enough money, you will have to just lay the rest on the parents for just getting their kids involved and traveling costs. So we do try to raise as much money as possible. So next slide. So the next slide here is like I'll just showing a couple of the potential costs. So one thing that all FLL teams will need to pay is a registration fee at first, just to get involved. It's normally one of the higher costs, but everyone needs to pay this. That's all of this table is in Canadian, so it might be more or less depending on where you're from. Now that you're registered, each team needs to get to either build or buy a first Lego League game board, which is like a lot of people forget about this, but it's actually it's a pretty big actual problem, as well as a challenge set. So just the all your different Lego buildings that you need on the mat. To actually build the robot, you're going to need to purchase a Spike Prime set. That's a pretty big one. We've run a bunch of events over the years, like camps and things like that. So we've actually got them donated to us by First through these events. Shirts, each team normally has their own shirts. And this is like, I don't know if it's specifically you need them, but normally each team does have their own. So team shirts is another cost. And a lot, but a lot of the time you're also going to need to pay for a tournament registration. So when you actually get your robot built to actually enter a tournament, you're going to need to pay its own cost. So there's a bunch of other costs too, but a lot of these are just easy to find. They don't really, sometimes you won't actually have to buy them new. Like you might need some laptops or something for the actual kids to code, expansion sets for the actual building. You need, sometimes there's printing costs, a bunch of different materials for like your actual innovation project, and then travel costs, snacks, and possible rentals. Sometimes these will fall on the parents just because you can't cover them all, especially like travel costs and things like that. And lastly, the last thing I want to say here is that this may seem like a lot, but after you run your first year, a lot of these things can be used from previous years, like your table, your shirts, the Spike Prime sets, laptops, and all of those things. All of those can be reused, so it does kind of take off a little bit of that pressure financially. And I think that's all I got.